Back of the Bus podcast coming to you with another comic book review. Today we've got Avengers, X-Men, Eternals, Judgment Day event number 3. Kieron Gillen, Valerio Schiti, and Marte Garcia and Clayton Cowles. We're opening up number 3 here off the tails of waking up a celestial god and not really doing the homework on what's going to happen when you do. The Avengers and the small group of Eternals that are assisting there, Makkari, Ajax, and Phastos, are dealing with the aftermath of, their decision to wake up Avengers Mountain, essentially. A newly formed celestial god sends his intentions of judgment across the world, and everyone scrambles to decide how they will be judged. It starts with Captain America. All right, and this is setting the table very early, letting you know exactly how this is gonna go. Because I think a lot of people, when they hear we're gonna judge the world individually and as a whole, a lot of virtuous people would like to believe that there's more good in the world than bad. I'm a bit more cynical, but this lets you know right away. This judgment lets you know right away. There's gonna be no cakewalk. It's not gonna be very linear in the way that he's judging. So probably best served blowing them up. Or what do you think?
Yeah, because if we starting with Cap, that's pretty just for everybody else.
Well, I mean, look how he judges him, right? He judges Captain America first, and he says that basically you had a duty to make America better, to save people, to lead the country. And in that instance, you failed over and over and over and over and over and over and over again as a symbol of America or whatnot. So I judge you a failure. Captain America? Come on now.
He's a failure. Like we don't want it to be that, but if we talking comic books, right? Adam Brashear was before the Age of Heroes. Okay, Captain America was around during the 70s. We're still in the Civil Rights era. Comics. But even if we play around in comics, Cap was around when Rage got beat up by the police. Cap was there. So Cap's been on duty. And as Cyclops told it on more than one occasion, hey, bro, you sat around and let us get ran around. You did
time and time again.
So I mean, yeah. Even and I hate to say this, even with, to me, the fake symbolism of Sam, even with that, Steve Rogers isn't even an American history buff to even say, Sam, take my name. Like, to me, that still bothers me, because I'm like, what are we saying? We said it was wrong. Now we saying it's okay, or we don't know what we're doing. But they say those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it.
So we take a look back into our 6 human POVs. Your boy Tom is at the pub, going back a few beers, listening to Captain America give his most solemn words, and everything's gonna be okay, yada yada yada. And Tom eats it up because it's Captain America saying it.
Right.
I'll just leave it at that. Katrina is still tweeting. Didn't get a lot of engagement on the last tweet about the mutants, so sad face on that one. Ajern's widow, Kamali, is viewing his body in the morgue. She feels cursed. Daniela is still doing her deliveries, still thinking that it's very hard to be a superhero. Jada is sitting down watching all this mess on TV and becoming more and more disheartened by all the vitriol. I wonder if she begins to turn some of this back on herself, because she sure wasn't the nicest about it when she found out about mutant resurrection. But we'll continue to watch and see. We know one of them is getting ready to go here pretty soon. Kenta still getting labored about his day-to-day duties, such as homework and whatnot, by his parents while the world faces doom. I feel like his family is ultimately unbothered.
Isn't that realistic? Are we, like, as parents, I think both you and I are parents, are we really care about
Look, Okay, so let's run through the last year or so of Marvel publications. So you done had King in Black, right? And then the mutants are living on Mars, and now they can't die. What else has been going on? You had that one funky little thing where they was, scooping up all the teenage superheroes and stuff like that, and that was a bit of a disaster. I think they're so conditioned to it. Like it's kind of like catching heat waves in the Midwest. Like after a while, 100-degree weather is just kind of the norm,
I'm with you, but when I see him hanging out the window taking pictures, like the sky red, like you might not have school tomorrow.
He's a kid though. You gotta think if we at this point for him, then his parents have to have gone an entire lifetime of seeing this superhero stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like the parents, like, okay, the sky red. That's not somebody just outside our front door window fight. The sky red. The sky red. So, school might not be in tomorrow while we over here playing. Like, but you got to do your homework though. So that's what I was looking at. Like, he can see it.
But at what point does normal human life not stop in a superhero-driven world? Because just like everything else, hell,
the Rona.
Don't let me say the actual word, Josh. Bleep that out because they don't like that on the algorithm. But something that was literally killing people, But after a while, people got used to it. People start going back outside, mask off, no more distancing, and all of a sudden, all the guidelines kind of went to the wayside. Get used to stuff.
I'm gonna say this. We're gonna get back to the book. That is the craziest thing to me. I was taught don't get in the car with strangers. Now we do that every day. I was taught,
you don't like ride sharing.
I was taught nobody can come in the store with a mask on or a hoodie on. Now you can do both. So to me, it's not that it was a danger getting in the car with strange people. No, some people are just inherently bad. It's not something wrong with somebody coming in the store with a hoodie and a mask on. No, it's just some people are inherently bad. You can have people jump in the car with strangers all day, every day, and get home safe and sound. People could walk in the store with masks on, helmets on, whatever, not show their face, not rob the place. Most of the people in this world aren't wired to do bad stuff. So it's just crazy to me, but my bad. I ain't gonna hold us.
Durek visits the exclusion to speak to his grandpappy. Well, first of all, Uranos lets Durek know that he agrees with everything that the Celestial guy is saying. Like, hey man, he gets it. You should have hooked up with him. That guy's great.
Not knowing that it's Tony Stark.
Now that's interesting. That's interesting. That Uranos and Tony Stark on the same wavelength. That's troubling. That is troubling. Durek tells him that he judged Captain America first, and he judged and showed him the results of that judging. Uranos starts to explain to him that he judged him a failure at his aim and his duties, what he set out to do, who he is as a man, right? And in that, he hasn't achieved what it is he set out to do, so you judge him a failure. Similarly, as Eternals, our code is written so that we eradicate excess deviation. Clearly, they've run amok in the palace. So, put two and two together, I think you need to clean house. Eric responds immediately, sends out a message to all the Eternals, letting them know that we need to get the Hex back up and attacking the island again. Renos tells him, hey, look, man, you can probably get this done a little bit faster if you let me out. Derek says, not so fast. You got to be quicker than that. It's got to be a little bit more desperate for me to let you out. Because once he gets out, he's in charge.
You already let him out.
He let him out with a time limit, though. So as long as he got that on him, they okay. But he's not going to let him out again. He's not just going to keep taking risks,
You know how you alluded to it. Because you put me up on game. He was done in 20 minutes.
He was done in 20 minutes. And then he did something called, what did they say? They said something vague, like he pondered amongst his glory for the rest of the time. Nope.
He can account for the 40 minutes, bro. He was busy for 40 minutes. So we gonna see how this story gonna play out.
Back at the North Pole, the God Makers debate on how to stop the Celestial Judge Judy. Stark suggests that disabling the god by destroying an internal node on the machine. Right? Ajax and Makari obviously are not on with that because they're the actual holy believers of the group. They're the ones that actually believe in this god and wanted to thrive. So that is a quick throwaway for them. Fastos is more of the practical one and kind of lets him know the risks of doing it. Like the fallout from an explosion from that node could be catastrophic for everybody.
The pacifist, but he don't mind building weapons.
He built a lot of weapons, man. A lot of weapons.
And I know how to use them. Now, and watch this. I know how to use them, and if pushed, we'll do so. Or at the very least, tell you how to use it.
Facts. He's a pacifist through proxy. Ajax and Makari leave the room, so the holy walkers are out. And Fastos keeps it real, say, hey, look, bro, if you got a shot, take it. Shoot or shoot.
Make sure you do it fast, and make sure you do it without us knowing about it.
He does tell him that their protocol will dictate, it'll compel them to defend the Celestial even against their own will. So if you do it secretly, do it fast, like you said. Get it done. Now, Sinister hears this whole thing. Why? I understand some of this you needed from him. There's probably some DNA stuff that you needed to work with him. But why are we having strategy conversations with Sinister at this point? You had to kidnap this man in the first place. Why are you having conversations with this man? You know how the mutants work. You know they probably in his brain. Come on now. Come on. This is lackluster.
He ain't even a mutant. Why y'all keep capping for this dude? Like, you let him on Krakoa as an honorary mutant. You know what I'm saying? Sinister? Sinister. He ain't really no mutant. You didn't let this dude on the Quiet Council and let this dude just bogart his way on Krakoa just cause
didn't he give himself the X gene? No, ain't that how that worked?
Well, the thing is he wasn't born with it.
But if you put him, you know what I'm saying, he's there.
Born with it. He like, oh, let me just put it in my body. Man,
it's cheap. That don't count.
So I'm looking at the X-Men. I'm like, Professor Xavier and Magneto.
He clearly passed his resurrection protocol. So as far as Cerebro is concerned, he a mutant.
Yeah, but they know, technically speaking, he did it to himself. They know that, and then they know how shady this dude is. This dude's still shady. He ain't stopped being shady.
Okay.
You know what it is? He shouldn't be called Mr. Sinister anymore. He should be called Mr. Shady. Because he stopped being sinister a long time ago. Now he's just shady. Don't let people around us.
For sure. He alerts Eileen Adler via Psylink immediately after he hears what what Iron Man and Fastos are planning. Irene then walks into Emma Frost and lets her know that we need an impromptu Quiet Council meeting. Emma links every available member up quickly while also keeping up the battlefront, right? Like it's nuts. Xavier is literally out here getting done in because they're doing that psychic attack on them, right?
And he said, we need another Xavier. That's what I was getting ready to
say. So she's queuing up to Hope to give me a new Xavier. She's still fighting the psychic warfare that the Eternals are fighting on them right now, but she still has enough room to create this virtual space for the Quiet Council to quietly discuss. That's OP. That's OP.
Yes, OP with a capital O and a capital P. Period.
For sure. So Hope immediately sees that since, some of the more, I would say, the more hesitant members of the Quiet Council to do something that's catastrophic with what they were planning to do are all either off planet or, indisposed or being rebooted, what have you, right? She accuses Irene Adler of cheating the vote. Girl, it's wartime. We don't have time to wait on everybody to get in here. Did you hear Emma? We don't have much time to even be in this room, so let's get to it. Like Hope she's been getting a little spicy here lately. Now she got her a little position. Getting a little spicy.
Do you see how fast the Quiet Council is moving? Now, mind you, this is the Quiet Council.
Right.
They're moving faster than the other council did. And that was supposed to be a war council.
True.
So the Peace Council is moving faster and is more organized in time of war than the War Council. That's crazy.
Which is weird because the Krakoans know that they have resurrection and they ain't doing none of that tough guy stuff about we don't want to die. Right? So you would think it would be in reverse, given that the Kree are not prone to resurrection. They not messing with that. So, but you're right. It ended up being different. So we got the deviants here on Krakoa. So apparently, Emma Frost has been doing her diplomatic thing, and now they've got some more fodder to throw at the Celestials. I kind of cringe at the idea of that being the case, but then again, they did volunteer for that very thing to try to stunt the Eternals barrage with their numbers. So I guess if you're gonna sign up for it, but it's a little cringy, it's a little bit weird.
If I could be petty, issue 3 for me showed how wrong the Eternal movie was. If you, and I'm saying this for the fans, and y'all know my age and everything like that, I never really was an Eternals fan. Crow has always been painted as this evil bad guy. And so we get Marcus, who's read the latest run of Eternals, find out, no, Crow actually has some merit to him. There's something to Crow. He's not just a easily dismissive villain who just wants to kill people. And so when we talk about casuals, how you get caught up in what happens in the movie and you think that's really what that is, this is a prime example of that. A mischaracterization, misrepresentation of a character who in the comic is being portrayed as having layers, being a complex character. Now you have this relationship. If you're just following the MCU, I don't know how they do this. Because now what you're telling me is because you want to line up everything in the comics with the movies, you're telling me that Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, is related to Crow in the Eternals, whom you just killed off. And you painted him as a villain. No redeeming qualities whatsoever. Now you got this going on, and now you got the Eternals, who, if one of them get killed, so we gonna sit up here now and say, how many Eternals died in that movie? Okay, that's just how many humans died in that movie. No, you better not do an Eternals 2. Because now comic book fans would walk in the movie theater and we looking at this is not consistent.
Yeah.
It's such a huge miscarriage of justice when I look at this piece of writing using these characters and what we were just basically thrown at, given. That movie Eternals does not do those characters any type of justice whatsoever. None of them.
Yeah, there was a lot of problems. A lot of problems with the Eternals. But the X-Men arrive in the North Pole, right? And Ajax gets the alerts right away. But before her and Tony Stark can figure out what's going on, Sinister pops the top on that entrance to the node that they were talking about exposing, helping his mutant companions there. And a huge battle ensues, which this is honestly my favorite page of the book is how, well, favorite 2 pages, because you get a little bit of on a former page, but where you get the Eternals right here clocking in, like, woo, you know what I mean? Oh, time to go. Yeah. And then all of this. I love all of this. Makari cuts Domino in half. Very unlucky for her, by the way. And then knocks Quentin Quire's neck back, like it probably broke it. What else we got going on? We got Athena stabs Beast through the chest. Icarus knocks out Alex Summers pretty quickly. That's no surprise. But then he tears somebody in half. I don't know who he's ripping in half right now, but GD. So much so that Jean Grey is even asking for assistance. Like, hey, yo, I need to get past Icarus. Somebody handle that for me. Because he literally just ripped somebody in half. I don't know who it was, though.
We're going to have to figure that out. You got me curious. Now I'm going to have to figure out this costume layout.
Who was that?
It's a female. Y'all help us out. Who is this? Who is this?
Sure. Let us know in the comments who he did this dirty like that. That is it's a bit excessive. But here we go. Exodus comes in just in time. Moves him out the way. Jean Grey sees the opening and she goes inside the Celestial. Iron Man tries to stop her, but just as he arrives, Jean tells him it's too late, it's done, it's happening. right? An explosion is starting. Tony is sitting there and he's reading the signals, seeing that the thing is getting ready to go off. The explosion starts, and he is the world's worst burn victim, for sure. Way too close to that. Way too close to that. The Celestial explodes. Big mushroom cloud explosion in the atmosphere. You get a shot of it. The devastation goes for miles and miles and miles. I'm not sure if it goes through the entire Earth, but it goes far enough that clearly that was a bad look, bad move to make. Only none of that happened.
Do you know how OP, telepathically speaking, the Celestial has to be who fooled not one, not two, but I don't know how many, what we know to be as Omega level mutants? How many Omega level telepaths did you just fool?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, it takes something to fool Jean Grey, but you didn't just fool her. You fooled every other telepath that was after you. Every telepath, even the telepaths that were on Krakoa, that were not attacking the Celestial, all felt the same experience.
No, it's bad out. It's really bad out. Jean Grey says she should have known all along, and the Celestial agrees. She is correct. She is one of few who could have known. The annihilation did not happen. I merely let everyone taste the experience. Some die of heart attacks. Well, goddamn. So is that the people that died of a heart attack, are they an automatic thumbs up then, since you killed them doing your little jump scare? It should be an automatic thumbs up since you had to sacrifice them with your scary movie mode.
Celestials been reborn since these people died.
The world did not understand, I must explain. Listen, people of Earth, your heroes think themselves gods above judgment. AKA, they thought they was slick. Now I gotta spank that ass. Now you all see they are mistaken. Your day ticks away. Justify yourselves. Your judgment, thumbs down for the woman of diamond, thumbs down for the deviant of war, thumbs down for the woman who walks between futures, and the woman who walks beside her. And the others I will consider no longer. Man, hefty blow. Hefty blow. That's ugly. I don't. Where exactly do we go from here? You know.
Thumbs up for the deviant warlord. Can we say that? Crow got a thumbs up. Cap got a thumbs
up or thumbs down? I thought it was thumbs down.
Thumbs up for the deviant warlord. More judgments. Thumbs down.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so all the mutants essentially, Irene, Mystique, Emma they all got thumbs down, and Crow got a thumbs up. This judging process is very arbitrary. Getting very arbitrary. I don't think we have a guideline here, so expect some more twists and turns in terms of that. We do hop over to the exclusion. Cersei broke in with, I don't know who this Eternal's name is. I don't know who this is. Jack of Knives. Cersei and Jack of Knives are breaking into the exclusion to talk to none other than Thanos' brother, Star Fox. Surprise, surprise. I wonder what's going to happen here. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, he does have empathetic powers. He can make people feel good about themselves. Maybe they're looking for a way to get him to, if not influence people to do right, influence the Celestial to feel good about people. I think I'm here for it. I think there's going to be something going on with Uranus later on. I want to see that. Probably looking for a reboot, not a reboot to the Eternals, but probably another Eternals run is gonna come after this, which I would definitely check. Start off with issue 1, but with everybody being judged, heroes, mutants, deviants, Eternals, I'm here for it because I want to see what the human race is gonna feel about the Eternals after they find out.
I'm waiting on that shoe to drop. That's gonna be the shoe. And if it's only 150 Eternals.
Yep.
I don't think that'll necessarily sway the overall vote, but what it does to the human race, which is the largest voting bloc in this situation. What does that do to the human? You already seen what it did when the mutants just told them that they could live forever. Not that it adversely affects you in any way. We just told you that we can reproduce and go on perpetually. Them, they doing it, and every time they do it, one of y'all die. What does that do to the human psyche, which ends up being the largest judgment of the planet? Is going to tip the scale.
You would want to know which Eternal you linked up to. Hey, bro, can I holler at you real quick? Yeah.
You just be going your life away, dog. I don't know where I'm at on the list or the pecking order, but don't just be out there dying. You too big just to be dying like that.
Matter of fact, you need to retire. Like, you need to go sit down somewhere. Like, nah, we ain't even finna do. I mean, like, honestly, that would be my response. Like, oh, Icarus, you my guy. Hey, man, go sit this one out.
You better go kidnap me in Eternal. Throw him in the exclusion.
I need something. Now, one thing I do find interesting is that the reason, they say they can't humans can't be reborn. They didn't say they couldn't do it necessarily. They just said they don't have a backup there. So even if we brought the person back, it wouldn't be the person you knew.
Yeah.
I think Scott said that. So it's one of them things where it's like, and I don't know, maybe an author or writer might touch on this later on. What happens when a human gets brought back through Krakoan protocols?
I don't even know if they will be able to do it, because I'm thinking about what happened in House of Powers and the type of data space that you need. Like the Shi'ar crystals, those diamonds. Charles Xavier had to start out with those just to get the sure amount of data space to store all of the mutants that were going to be on that island, just what they started with. Right, so It was a tremendous feat just to get all the mutants back up, stored, let alone trying the entire human race.
I'm just talking about one person, and I'm just talking about like for a storytelling event. Say one person, not a whole bunch of people, but one person finds a way to do it, or a mutant reanimates a person through the Krakoan protocol. There's a story there, because they're leaving it out there like it's not that they can't do it. It's we can't do it because of this. It's not off the table. It's just.
Well, it'll definitely happen. Before we meet Krakoa, it'll happen. Sure.
Yeah, I want to see it, because I think that's going to be an interesting story.
I think they won't do it to a pedestrian though. They're saving it for obviously a big mutant, and that's where it's going to have the most impact. A Captain America, Tony Stark, or something. Like when that explosion went off, I thought for sure, I was like, damn, they killed Tony Stark for real. Like, Tony Stark dead. Like, they killed him. All the mutants coming back, but they killed Tony Stark. What did they have to bring him back? That's where my mind went. Just like you talking, I'm like, okay, well, damn, they just killed Tony Stark. Literally in the book, I'm like, damn, are they going to bring him back? And then, obviously, next few pages, I seen what was going on. But that's an interesting question. I do think it's going to be somebody that's a little bit more prevalent, as opposed to one of these, like one of the POV 6. I don't think it'll be any of them, but it'll be an Avenger or something of that nature. And when that person comes back different, people start thinking differently about that Krakoan resurrection, especially the scientific field. If that happened to a human, what's happening to you mutants who are continuously rebooting yourself over and over and over and over?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the author, the person who ever created the resurrection protocols, is a Pet Cemetery fan. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's a Stephen King a Stephen King
fan. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's a big Stephen King, because it's giving me Pet Cemetery vibes all over. Yeah. So, but it's some great writing, man. I'm here for it. Like I said, you done converted me. Now I got to go start reading the Eternals. I love the character development. It is complex. It's paying off some plot points. It is challenging us as readers. It's making us sit back and anticipate the next issue, which is what comics are supposed to do. Comics are literally supposed to have you wanting the next issue. So this series does a great job. But I'm looking forward to X-Men, X-4. I'm looking forward to that, but I need that in my life.
Absolutely. Make sure you come back to us next week. We should have another review for you. We're going to try and review as many of the tie-ins as we can. Stick with us. We'll be here next week with another review for you. Make sure you check out my boy Theo at I Ain't Saying I'm Just Saying on YouTube and Twitter. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe here as well.
I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you so much, Marcus, brother. Salute. See you again.
Oh.